Hi folks, Silex here for the final devlog of Pixelage, a little climbing game where your goal is to reach the summit while avoiding natural elements. Today, I'll show you the process of creating this natural bullet hell. After developing the climbers and the rope party, I started designing the many obstacles that were gonna come their way. Since my original inspiration for this game was Spelunky, my primary thoughts naturally went towards little monsters climbing or flying our way. I scrapped this for two particular reasons. First, just like in my previous game, I wanted my obstacles to be somewhat realistic. Don't get me wrong, as a gamer, I love imaginary monsters as much as anyone, but as a developer, I really like the creative constraints of sticking to stuff that kind of exists in real life. The second reason is that I was really curious about experimenting with systemic game design. For anyone who's not familiar, this type of design means that systems are built to interact with each other in order to create fun experiences for the player. One of the most notable examples in recent years can be found in Zelda Breath of the Wild, where Link can use fire to burn plants, which will in turn create upward wind to make him fly. It's a type of design that helps the game's world feel a bit more real to the eye of the player. As I was creating more and more natural obstacles, I started to wonder how those little systems could interact with each other. Here's what I came up with. Rain distracts the player's vision and makes moss grow in the mountain cracks. Wind gusts block the climber for a few seconds and shake trees so intensely that their branches get torn out. And bigger rocks change tree trunks' angles on impact, which deviates the waterfall from its course. All these systems assemble in the last level to conjure up a sort of wrath of nature ballet for the player to move through. Now, how did I implement these ideas in Unity? It was a relatively easy process actually. The wall is divided into 4 rain zones that get each activated once the player reaches a certain trigger. Once rain starts falling in one of the zones, lines of moss pop up at random places all over that specific area. The so-called wind gust, when the fancy particles are turned off, is actually just a big old box collider that moves across the map at random time intervals. Once the player enters it, I simply remove their controls and activate their corresponding animation. I plan in a little bomb behind every tree that gets triggered every time the wind gust collider touches it. It then scans for any rigid body in its radius, aka the branches, and simply adds some force to it. For the tree trunks deviating the waterfall, I let Unity's physics system work naturally and put a little spin on it. Each time a big rock hits the trunk, my script calculates the angle of the trunk and starts rotating it the other way. Alright, time has come. I finally uploaded the final version of the game to itch.io. For those who tried out Pixelage or want to, I have a little surprise tip to help you out on your ascent. In this game, if you fall on any level, you have to start over from the beginning. But just like in Spelunky, I implemented a secret mechanic that lets you unlock shortcuts. All you have to do is rescue all 3 lost climbers in each level to permanently unlock a rope, allowing you to skip that level entirely on your next ascent. Massive thank you to anyone who followed this series of devlogs. I've actually had a blast making them. Don't forget to like the videos if you want to support my work and subscribe to the channel because more is coming. Indeed, aside from Pixelage, I've been starting development on something else, much closer to my heart and bigger in scale. Socialite is a detective game set in a totalitarian social media app. Think of it as 1984 meets Instagram. The goal is to unravel the truth about your lost identity and the dystopian world surrounding you. I've been wanting to make my first narrative puzzle game forever, and it finally feels like the time is right. My next devlog series will be about its creation, and by the time I post the first episode on YouTube, I will have a playable demo for you to try out. I seriously can't wait. I've also started a series of 1-minute videos where I share design ideas that inspired me from games I've played. It's called Game Design Nutrients, and it's meant as friendly tips for fellow game devs and just fun game recommendation for everyone. First episodes are about the decision systems of Frostpunk and the sound design of Remnant from the Ashes. I'm releasing them regularly in the shorts section of my channel and on my TikTok, so feel free to check them out. And that's all for today. See you guys.